Hello, this is World University and Schools monthly business meeting on Saturday, May 20th, 2023 at noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time. I think it's 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This is an open hour-long World University and School monthly business meeting. And as we wait to see if people will join us, I'd like to begin with the first agenda item, and namely that World University and School has received the green light further for accreditation with Middle States Commission on Higher Education. And that's with their offices in the city of Philadelphia, and that would work also with the state of California's, state of Pennsylvania's Department of Education for licensing. And World University and School, as a consequence of our recent correspondence, which is in the two blogs for World University and School, and regarding our communications with Middle States Commission on Higher Education and Connie Clifton, we're seeking in particular, in terms of their minimum eligibility requirements, a financial plan. And that would be part of World University and Schools monies to pay the accreditation fees to Middle States Commission on Higher Education and to pay the state of Pennsylvania's Department of Education fees. These are, a financial plan is something we don't have yet. And I've recently just reached out to the MIT Sloan School of Business and to two recent Stanford Law CodeX panelists, Allison Ryder and Steve Mills, who gave a presentation in Stanford Law CodeX this past Thursday, May 18th, regarding responsible artificial intelligence. And in reaching out to them just this morning, I have inquired about the possibility of a financial plan in conversation with them at the MIT Sloan School of Management, and regarding MIT OpenCourseWare-centric Wiki World University and School. And the thought I have in these regards is, almost could World University and School become a rider, like Allison Ryder's last name, but a rider on some sort of arrangement with MIT itself, such that a financial plan might emerge from the MIT Sloan School of Management, and possibly even monies from MIT also to help with accreditation and licensing fees. And this would be around the Creative Commons 4 licensing that MIT OpenCourseWare-centric World University and School has been building upon. Creative Commons 4 licensing says, one, that anyone may share the MIT OpenCourseWare resources freely. There are about 2,600 courses in English. Two, that anyone may adapt them, so adapt them with artificial intelligence, with responsible artificial intelligence. But three, non-commercially. And it seems like in this conversation with Stanford Law CodeX presenters on Thursday, Allison Ryder and Steve Mills in the MIT Sloan School of Management, that new developments for both a financial plan and possibly monies might be forthcoming, because even since becoming a nonprofit 501c3 federal tax-exempt organization in 2010, with the ruling year of 2014, World University and School has been developing on no monies to speak of whatsoever, and potentially thereby getting MIT OpenCourseWare-centric World University and School for a song, and planned in 200 countries for online free-to-students degrees, and in all 7,151 known living languages for wiki schools, free universal education in some ways, people to people. It's at this stage with potentially next steps with Middle States Commission on Higher Education, and getting a financial plan, developing it, and getting monies, that World University and School will be able to proceed. In the process of accreditation, World University and School will also get a .edu domain name, and that will potentially also make it possible for us to develop a new platform with, instead of worlduniversityandschool.org, worlduniversityandschool.edu, excuse me, and possibly moving on to a professional set of websites, possibly built in Google Sites with Google Translate also. So that's agenda item 1. Agenda item 2 relates to Stanford Law CodeX and the recent presentation both by MIT Sloan School of Management, Allison Ryder, and Steve Mills, but also by a second presentation by Gisela Ruhl on a particular platform that's legal tech and is doing interesting things in Europe with developments in potentially the European air passenger organization, and also potentially with links to 140 countries in an interesting way. World University and law schools are seeking to build out law schools in all 200 countries in their main and official languages online, and to eventually hire large numbers of law faculty to help teach in these law schools, and teach also with legal tech and artificial intelligence. Agenda item 3, Stanford Medicine recently had a great drug discovery conference, symposium. At its close, 4 or 5 Nobel laureates in chemistry were on a panel. It was fascinating for many reasons. And one of the things World University and School learned in this Stanford Medicine Drug Discovery Symposium in April of 2023, on April 25th, is regarding the potential for even a 3D n-dimensional realistic virtual Earth for STEM, and that the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory in Berkeley has a library of over 2 million molecules, simulations, but that they're in as 2D atoms. And World University and School would seek in building out a realistic virtual Earth for STEM at the molecular and atomic levels too. I think Google Street View with Time Slider, with Google Maps, and TensorFlow AI and TensorStore, about exploring film to 3D apps. So how to make these 2D atoms simulations become 3D or move in n-dimensional virtual space, and for playing with molecules, and the potential for creating new molecular compounds, for example, for health and biotech and in so many other ways in a virtual environment. Great potential here. Agenda item 4, recently Google announced at its Google I/OS conference just this past week or so, the new Geospatial Creator. And World University and School is excited for this to potentially create a realistic virtual Harbin hot springs. And even in a multimedia room, and in WUAS VR, where Google Geospatial Creator allows one to add augmented reality onto the Google Street View, Google Maps, Google Earth platform. And World University and School would seek to even create such realistic virtual Harbin hot springs, realistic virtual countries, a realistic virtual India, a realistic virtual California, Oregon, and particularly a realistic virtual Harbin, seek to create a realistic virtual Harbin potentially in our bathtubs for the soaking in warm water effect, and to begin to research this scientifically, being at a virtual Harbin in our home bathtubs for meditation even, the relaxation response. And how would we do this at World University and School? How would we create a multimedia room around our bathtubs, potentially with strings of quote MIT Media Lab, end quote, WUAS projector bulbs, such as the image that was in the first Google Geospatial Creator webpage that I came to. It showed a picture of a cathedral on the left, and then on the right, a picture of a cathedral with sort of lights adding on to the cathedral, and even some digital objects that were projecting those lights onto the cathedral. Those are potentially ways of creating augmented reality on also a realistic virtual Harbin, Heart Consciousness Church. And potentially those could also be extrapolatable to the cellular and the molecular level, where those little dots of lights in the right image, this is all in the 2 blog posts, could become cells or platelets at the cellular level, and molecules, and for beginning to play virtually, digitally with this new Google Geospatial Creator for creating places. I read that this will be released so that people can start building around August 1st, 2023. Stay tuned. You may well be able to be co-building a realistic virtual Harbin. And well, as an additional great development in these regards, I came across 3 of the main Google Geospatial Creator Google developers, and they are all based in the San Francisco Bay Area, which could be great for creating a research field site of a realistic virtual Harbin hot springs, as I seek to move back into a newly safe Canyon, California 94516 on September 1st, 2023. In these regards, there are some fascinating videos in the blog. Check them out. Begin to create geospatially yourself. And world, university, and school in seeking to develop a realistic virtual Earth for everything, a realistic virtual and iterating realistic virtual Earth, such as in Google Street View with Time Slider, Google Maps, Google Earth, even a realistic virtual Earth for history and for anthropology, and so many academic disciplines as this iterates. Agenda item 5, aging reversal, and will it be possible to target organs with cancer vaccines? So will cancer vaccines, in a sense, target parts of the body-mind, parts of your and my body-minds? And for aging reversal and forever, will we be able to add just all kinds of vaccines for many different things, but cancers in particular seem like they could be specifically targeted in parts of the body. So one could have a brain cancer, or one could have a skin cancer, melanoma, and a cancer vaccine could potentially be injected into a person's body with these conditions, with these cancers, and potentially the vaccine could travel to a specific part of the body, mind. This is also coming into conversation with a paper that was co-authored by, which is titled Personal Neoantigen Vaccines Induce Persistent Memory T-cell Responses and Epitope Spreading in Patients with Melanoma. This is a paper published on the 21st of January in 2021 in Nature Medicine. And the first, some of the first authors are Zuting Hu, Donna E. Leet, Rosa L. Alice, Giacomo Oliveira, and about 20 others. This idea of targeting different parts of the body with cancer vaccines, brainstorming wise and potentially forever, is coming into conversation a bit with this paper. Agenda item 6, World University and School is 3 WUAS legal entities. One is a 501c3 nonprofit general stock company at the federal level, and 2 are legal entities in California and regarding the California Franchise Tax Board. We became a nonprofit World University and School 501c3 in 2010. The ruling year was 2014. We also in 2010 became a nonprofit legal entity in California. You can find and look into these legal entities and their numbers on the worlduniversityandschool.org webpage. And we became a for-profit WAS corporation in 2017, also in California. You can find more about this legal entity on the worlduniversityandschool.org/academicpress.html webpage, and its numbers and relationship also with the California Franchise Tax Board. In the past year or so, we've paid taxes to both of these legal entities, and through the WS Corporation, through the State of California's Franchise Tax Board website, and the nonprofit World University and School legal entity in California, through a paper check to the California Franchise Tax Board, and are waiting for the next steps in developing the developing California Franchise Tax Board website and bringing these three legal entities together further, particularly the two in California, but both wings, the nonprofit and the for-profit, and their remarkable synergies planned in 200 countries and in 7,151 known living languages. Agenda item 7, WS moving back into a newly safe canyon, California 94516, about 5 miles east of Berkeley, possibly in September of 2023, with state of California law working together with US federal law and potentially state of Pennsylvania law as well, playing a role here with US federal law and state of California law. And also regarding United States Postal Service change of address correction numbers. World University and School has 4 confirmation codes from the United States Postal Service. Some are forwarding to this address in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Some are forwarding to Canyon, California. And we're seeking to make further changes as we develop further our specific World University and School physical addresses. I will look at this more in subsequent agenda items later on today. But with regard to a call from the United States Postal Service from a person named Priscilla, who was, I think, in Tennessee at the time, about 3 weeks ago, we are glad to have received this United States Postal Service call and to find out the current status of these 4 confirmation codes. Some are active. We would like to be more specific with our forwarding addresses in the future and in communication, potentially with Priscilla at the United States Postal Service, and in sending out in further on paper for change of address cards to the US Postal Service for change of address as soon as World University and Schools physical addresses become clearer, possibly in September. Stay tuned to agenda item soon. Agenda item 8, Wiki, World University and School, which is in Wikidata. It's been in it since around 2015, which is, Wikidata is the backend structured knowledge database using structured query language of Wikipedia 2 with a specific ontology, knowledge structure, and in 300 languages out of 7,151 known living languages. And here are, in brief, 3 WUAS use cases conceptually of Wikidata, which we haven't really used very much to this point. We have, up to this point, we have our front-end WS Miraheza Media Wiki. There are about 725 pages, wiki pages in English, primarily, only so far. And we're interested in exploring further, potentially developing some of the remarkable opportunities that Wikidata in 300 languages affords, and possibly with, for example, our World University and School law schools. So agenda item 8A, and this comes out of a Stanford Law CodeX course 2 Thursdays ago, presentation or conversation during a presentation 2 Thursdays ago with someone who is the Chief Technology Officer, Sugam Sharma, in Iowa at elegalis.com, and regarding their work with seeking a possible way to structure the Iowa's Supreme Court's cases and documents as PDFs for artificial intelligence, for legal tech, for machine learning. And World University and School would explore facilitating, and has put Sugam Sharma at Illegalis, conversation with Lydia Pincher, the Wikimedia, Wikidata project manager, and Roland Vogel, the Stanford Law CodeX executive director, regarding possibly adding the Supreme Court documents through into Wikidata for Iowa at World University and School. So World University and School seeks to build out free online education in law schools as well in all 50 US states. Agenda item 8B, also regarding the title of the Stanford Law CodeX presentation 2 Thursdays ago, how to add, and that's the idea is regarding a proposed Brazilian artificial intelligence bill of law, how to add Brazil's Supreme Court cases and existing constitution and other law to WUAS Wikidata, brainstorming wise. And in our Brazil Law School, at Brazil World University and School, planned in Portuguese. And as we also begin to hire faculty at the Brazil Law School at World University and School, and potentially in collaboration with Stanford Law School, Stanford Law CodeX, and regarding, again, work on governing artificial intelligence and the proposed Brazilian Artificial Intelligence Bill of Law, which was the title of the Stanford Law CodeX presentation 2 Thursdays ago. How could World University and School help? Sugam Sharma at Illegalis, who I think is developing this for the state of Iowa and regarding their Supreme Court cases, and Lydia Pincher and Roland Vogel. Item 8C, regarding adding also data to Wikidata, and for artificial intelligence and machine learning use as well. But this is not with regard to, for example, law cases, but instead library resources, library documents. And would it be possible to add all of the state of Pennsylvania's individual libraries, public libraries, local historical libraries, research libraries, content to WS Wikidata, and in the library source resources vein? Could one also facilitate this such that individual researchers going into individual, say, small local libraries could, with their smartphone, take documents that weren't yet in such a comprehensive libraries, WS Wikidata library resources platform, and could such individuals, researchers, and graduate students add resources with their smartphones directly to the WS Wikidata library sources resources to begin to build out on an individual basis further resources that would be available to everyone. So this would be making public library resources more public in some ways. And could we even hire graduate students to go into libraries and begin to add resources too, as we seek to hire and employ possibly 2.5 million people by 2050, 2075. Agenda item 9. This has to do with creative computing and an upcoming practice sets Google Classroom session workshop, and regarding WS Free to Students for WS Free to Students MIT Open Courseware Centric World University and School degrees, when such that WS students could get creative, for example, with the CS First with Google at World University and School course. So expression of creative computing, and possibly in conversation with practice sets, learning the Scratch programming language, where WS students could further work with AI practice sets when they became creative, such as students might do in going to Stanford at the undergraduate or the graduate level, or MIT. How can artificial intelligence and creative computing help with practice sets? Is an interesting set of questions. And this upcoming Google workshop may address some of these questions. Agenda item 10, in what ways could World University and School employ 2.5 million employees in 50 years? Slightly bigger than Walmart, maybe many working 10 hours a week as the information technology revolution grows, and on both wings of World University and School. World University and School's academic side for MIT OpenCourseWare-centric free degrees at World University and School, and in 200 countries and in their main languages, and also for wiki schools in all 7,000 known living languages, and on the educational services stores, robotics stores, computer stores, retail stores, bookstores, and the academic press at World University and School with machine translation in 7,151 known living languages. Could we employ 1 million on the academic wing of World University and School, faculty, staff, researchers in 200 countries and in 7,151 known living languages, and 1.5 million people on the WUAS educational services stores retail side? Question to explore. Agenda item 11, and this comes from someone in India, Tejal Chaya, and who's part of Google educators groups in India. And she wrote recently to me at World University and School, thank you for reaching out here. We will be reaching out soon. This is, the meaning of this is not completely known to me, but could this be around World University and School offering online free AA degrees to Indian students through Google educator groups in India, GEG, India, and first in English, and then in all 22 official languages? And could this also be regarding reimbursement, potentially from Tejal Chaya's family, as we seek to grow our Indian student body and offer these free online MIT OpenCourseWare-centric degrees? I don't know. Waiting further to hear back from Tejal Chaya, whom I've met once or twice in Google Educator Group's meetings. Stay tuned. Agenda item 12, just recently, key contributor, an MIT professor of mathematics, Gilbert Strong, gave his last MIT mathematics lecture as he retires, I think. And you can watch this video. MIT students give longtime professor Gil Strong a standing ovation after his last lecture at Science MIT on Twitter. Check it out. The Twitter feed is MIT Math. It's also in 2 World University and School blogs. There's also some courses that Gilbert Strong in linear algebra in particular contributed to MIT OpenCourseWare, and a textbook also. These are remarkable, helpful uses, helpful situations, helpful resources from MIT. thank you and congratulations on your retirement, MIT Professor of Mathematics Gilbert Strong. Agenda item 11, I think. World University and School has successfully removed Larry Wieland from the World University and School GuideStar.org listing for World University and School as a 501c3. Agenda item 12, World University and School is seeking to remove Larry and Kim Wieland's home address, 1401 North Negley Avenue, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15206, from the United States Postal Service's forwarding address databases, but have not yet sent in a second set of 4 United States Postal Service change of address forwarding cards after sending in a first set about a month and a half ago to further change these, remove this North Negley Avenue address. There's a couple of contingencies we're waiting on. We've inquired if Alden Briscoe of Brakely Briscoe in San Mateo, California, could be a possible forwarding address, and also could Alden become the chair of the board, possibly developing a financial plan too for World University and School as we accredit and license. Secondly, I'm living in asylum in Pennsylvania from California at a Pittsburgh address in 15221, and even with a couple of possible murders here in the past year in this house, possibly, and with very problematic and chaotic United States Postal Service federal mail delivery to the door. 3, another contingency we're waiting on in seeking to move back into a newly safe P.O. Box 442, 670 Ridgecrest Canyon, California, 94516 on September 1st, 2023, with possibly illegal federal United States Postal Service mail operations at both the Satellite Canyon, California 94516 U.S. Post Office building in the town of Canyon, California 94516, and its main Moraga Ream U.S. Post Office building in the Ream Valley Shopping Center about 5 miles away at 460 Center Street, Moraga, California 94556. Waiting for federal law with state of California law and possibly state of Pennsylvania law to all work more effectively together here to make these potentially legal. And also regarding fourth contingency, WS also hasn't heard back yet from the Middle States Commission on Higher Education Accreditation Agency about whether WS needs a physical address in Pennsylvania to accredit and license with the state of PA also, which is a related process, which process seems to be further informed by Middle States Commission on Higher Education itself, since WS has already been authorized by the state of Pennsylvania's Department of Education, but hasn't yet paid the fee. And that's per the state of Pennsylvania's Education Department, Michelle Simmons, on January 2023, in January 2023. And whether we need this state of Pennsylvania PA address to credit in Pennsylvania, after sending in the initial Middle States Commission Higher Education pre-application that we've heard about from Middle States Commission on Higher Education, Connie Clifton. Stay tuned. Agenda item 14 or 15, I think, have some concerns further as a conscientious objector about language from Larry and Kim Wieland, and with them also being MIT alumni from around 1969 in chemistry, and some recent tragedies at MIT itself regarding a faculty member and a fundraiser. Agenda item 15, I think. Unfortunately, the email account info@worlduniversityandschool.org was hacked or suspended, with another World University and School email account having different one being suspended in January and March too, but I was able to undo this. And I haven't yet been able to unsuspend this info@worlduniversityandschool.org account, and I'm in communication with Peter Norvig, head of Google AI, about how to unsuspend it potentially. It wasn't unsuspended this morning, but I'm going to keep in touch with Peter Norvig and seek to get these info@worlduniversityandschool.org emails going again, with lots of World University and School potentially important communications. Agenda item 15, WS is seeking to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet and to end poverty too, as well as to create people-to-people wiki free universal education here at World University. There's a wiki page for this, each a Wikidata pin number, and is calling for abolishing, for example, the illegal sex and drug and related industries and their latent networks of violence to protect all 7.9 billion people on the planet as wiki universitians and speakers of all 7,151 known living languages. Agenda item 16, glad to report that my mother is on the mend, and that hopefully related possible issue here where I'm living in asylum in Pennsylvania from California regarding a possible craven psychopath, possibly criminal, and evicted former co-denizen Frederick Kayat and his cronies are dealt with successfully. Not easy. Question, was Frederick Kayat an illegal soldier in the French-speaking Swiss Army, having spent 2 years at EPFL in Lausanne, Switzerland, École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne, French-speaking Switzerland, after leaving Lebanon before that. He's now evicted and hoping this all works out well as World University and School continues to call for the abolition of the illegal sex and drug industries and their latent networks of violence, and to potentially protect people. As a PS, how to plan to abolish modern slavery and in the illegal sex industry and drug industries and their latent networks of violence for all 200 countries and in their languages, and potentially with law, and following on the Slavery Abolition Act in the British Isles from 1833 and the Emancipation Proclamation from 1865. And World University and School is seeking to build out 200 online law schools, and maybe they can help in some of these regards too, along with IT and artificial intelligence. Agenda item, so now changing to the other wing of World University and School, the WS Corporation, the WS Press, regarding Lego robotics. I've recently been in touch with Lego Robotics, and regarding their Lego Robotics solicited partnership of World University and School in 2020, and have posted the email correspondence I shared with Lego, I think on Thursday or Wednesday, in this, as well as the correspondence from Lego in 2020 from at least 3 Lego employees, Lego education employees, including the language that one of them asked World University and School to post to our WS educational services stores at worlduniversityandschool.org/academicpress.html. And we've had this language on this webpage for 2 or 3 years now, and regarding 3 Lego robotics kits. And we'll update this further as we develop. In corresponding with Lego education, I wrote to the CFO and the CEO, I think, as well as Soren Jorgensen, a Stanford fellow and a lawyer in Denmark as well, and Roland Vogel, and hoping to build out our WS educational services stores with Lego robotics. And further in these regards, I recently in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, went to the shopping area of Walnut Street in the Shady Side area of Pittsburgh, and looked at some storefronts, which could be fascinating WUAS Lego robotics stores, even beginning sites in terms of these educational services stores for the academic press and books, and its books, and for Lego robotics and computers, for World University and School outreach for our free degrees. Took some pictures, posted 2 possible storefronts, empty ones, to World University and School's Twitters, and the Apple one is only 4 stores away from the Apple Computer Store on Walnut Street in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Could be an interesting possible site for Lego education for World University and School Robotics, WS Lego Robotics. We don't have any monies to speak of whatsoever yet, seeking to build this out further, potentially before I move back west, leaving at the end of July. So agenda item B, in what ways further could we develop this mid-size store possibility on Walnut Street with a possible large-size store in the Waterworks Mall of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that is a former recently closed Walmart store. And could we even develop this store with robots themselves, iterating humanoid robots, other robots, such that this could become a first store for educational services that would be organized and run by iterating humanoid robots, such as the Toyota Humanoid Robot 3, with remarkable internet connectivity within the store, and also as an outreach for free MIT OpenCourseWare-centric degrees to students, for example, at the high-achieving Shadyside Academy High School, which is nearby this Waterworks Mall storefront, which is large size, and which could be a way to offer these online free degrees from World University and School, free online MIT OpenCourseWare-centric bachelor's degrees, for example, to Shadyside High School students, and also to all high school students in the Pittsburgh area, and for them potentially to get their robotics supplies at these educational resources stores, to get books and computers as well, possibly a similar product line, slightly reformulated, that Walmart itself carries in this former Walmart store in the Waterworks Mall. The large size store potentially as a prototype near the Shadyside Academy High School in Fox Chapel, and a mid-sized store on Walnut Street in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, near the Apple Computer Store for Lego robotics kits and similar. Agenda item C in the remaining 7 minutes. Upcoming Society Information Technology in the Global University book at the Academic Press at World University and School, planned in 2023, is emerging from a course I've taught for more than a decade called Society Information Technology in the Global University. And with emerging artificial intelligence, such as Google Bard and ChatGPT, and that relating to YouTube videos too, how to go from about 8 video talks or lectures I gave on society, information, and information technology into text. These recordings I made in particular in around 2007, so a little bit more than 15 years ago. And would it be possible to, with artificial intelligence, go directly to an actual 8 nearly complete or finished chapters in print, from video to print? Stay tuned. Google Bard, which is Google's artificial intelligence software, is iterating rapidly these days, potentially in conversation with ChatGPT. Artificial intelligence, generational conversation AI software. This would be a fantastic set of developments that artificial intelligence would make possible. Item C2, how can Google Bard artificial intelligence software already proofreads effectively? This is a great use of artificial intelligence software, and Google Bard is doing it excellently, making fantastic suggestions. World University and School will seek to engage this process too as our book develops, as our Academic Press at World University and School book develops. Stay tuned in these regards too, hoping to have it out in the autumn on the WS Academic Press side of things, the WS Corporation side of things. Agenda item C3, in a related vein to this developing book with an exploration of artificial intelligence and a chapter on artificial intelligence. I went to a public library in Pittsburgh to find an article from the Wall Street Journal on large language models in Africa that John Palfrey, the president of the MacArthur Foundation, had tweeted about a week or 2 weeks ago. The Wall Street Journal's article is "World's Top AI Researchers Debate the Technology's Next Steps." Conference in Africa covers technology's promise and peril for poorer nations. It's by Karen Hao, H-A-O, and the conference took place in Rwanda, Africa. And I couldn't get this article through the link initially. Tried one public library in Pittsburgh, then went to the Northland Public Library, found it on paper. And after that, the actual newspaper article from the Wall Street Journal became available on the web. If you're interested, check it out. So agenda item D, World University and School and responsible artificial intelligence. We're seeking to build this in, and per this recent talk also in the Stanford Law CodeX group on Thursday, May 18th, 2023, by Allison Ryder and Steve Mills, how to build out responsible AI, not only in large language models, in 300 Wikidata languages at World University and School for 200 countries' major online MIT OpenCourseware-centric universities, but also at World University, planning to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, and also to end poverty for all 7.9 billion people with something like Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency, and distributing this And potentially this would involve also distributing smartphones to the poorest people who didn't have them in all 200 countries, so that they could get Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency and thus end their poverty. This might also involve setting up electrical grids in countries for people to charge their smartphones to get this Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency. World University and School is seeking potentially the WS Corporation is seeking to list on the Silicon Valley long-term stock exchange and possibly on the NASDAQ, as well as a dual listing, and to get countries and banks potentially to get Stanford MindPi from World University and Schools, the WS Corporation, as WS Corporation develops further with the California's Franchise Tax Board, as the Silicon Valley Long-Term Stock Exchange develops further with the state of California's Franchise Tax Board, as Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency itself develops further with the state of California's Franchise Tax Board. We've gotten a letter of partnership, partnering with Stanford MindPi. I'm excited to write. That's in, I think, 2 business meetings, recording and agenda and news. If you'd like to read those, read that. And we're seeking to develop all of this with responsible AI in order to help people, potentially creating free universal education on the World University and School wing for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, speakers of all 7,151 living languages, is with large language models, responsible AI. And on the WS Corporation side, potentially coding for all 7.9 billion people on the planet and to end poverty as well is and can be coded with iterating responsible AI. So that's World University and Schools monthly business meeting for Saturday, May 20th, 2023 at noon. I'll say farewell for now. The next WS monthly business meeting is on the 3rd Saturday of June. Stay tuned for that. Posting this to recording of monthly business meeting to World University and Schools Twitter feeds, twitter.com/WORLD, and twitter.com/WUASPRESS, as well as to the active YouTube channel for World University and School presently, youtube.com/Scott McLeod World University, and also to 2 blog posts for today. World University and Schools blog post at Blogspot and Scott-McLeod's Blogspot blog. Until next week, if you know of students who are interested in free online MIT open courseware-centric degrees this autumn, beginning potentially September 1, 2023, as we begin the accreditation process, let meeting at World University and School know. Next WS News and question and answers on Monday, the 22nd at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Until next online meeting, bye for now. I'm Scott McLeod. See you soon.